Hi everyone, a quick little video, promise it'll be quick, about sugar-free gum, sugar-free sweeteners. Now what's that all about? Well, let's apply a little biochemistry to it. We'll figure it out. So we're in Unit 5, Part 1, section on biochemistry. And there's a previous video, you should check it out before watching this one. In that video, we talked about avocados. And we looked at biological molecules consisting of carbohydrates, lipids, proteins, and nucleic acids. And in that first video, we focused on carbohydrates. So that was cool. Then we talked about what makes up a carbohydrate. Well, carbohydrates all contain at least one aldehyde or a ketone, and usually just one. Sorry, I don't know why I said it that way. Carbohydrates contain an aldehyde or a ketone, and then two or more alcohols, right? And so an aldehyde is defined by that carbonyl group. The carbonyl group has a hydrogen on one side, left side or right side, and a carbon on the opposite side. Ketones, however, have two carbons either side of that carbonyl group. Carbohydrates also have two or more alcohols, and so the OH group is the alcohol group. And the connection between aldehyde ketones and alcohols is that you can reduce a ketone or aldehyde with lithium aluminum hydride, the strong reducing agent, or the mild reducing agent, sodium borohydride. Don't forget that second step with acid to neutralize the products. And you can take the aldehyde, formaldehyde in this case, or an aldehyde, or a ketone, and reduce it to an alcohol. Cool, there it is, at acid workup. That's step 2 of those reactions. We also had a little lesson about classifying carbohydrates. And in that lesson in the previous video, we showed the structures of some sugars that you do not have to memorize. But I just want to point out, here's xylose's structure as drawn in a Fisher drawing, right? So vertical drawings, the horizontal bonds are trying to give you a hug. They're coming out towards you as wedge bonds. Vertical lines are dashed away bonds. If you need to identify the chirality centers and assign configuration, whether it's an R or an S. Hey, but the focus of this short video is to talk about artificial sweeteners. For example, here's Trident gum with xylitol. Xylitol is made from xylose. Here's the structure of it. Structure was drawn earlier. Maybe I should go grab it real quick. Let's do that. Grab that tool. Move over here. Hey, you, come on over. There we go. And give me a little more room. There we go. Oops, I forgot the pen. All right. This is xylitol. Is this, sorry, this is xylose. This is the ose. It's got an aldehyde. It's got two or more alcohols. Is this the L or the D form? It's actually what the question is over here. Trident gum. If this is the structure of all the sugar molecules in here, is it sugar? Good question. Of all the xylitol molecules in here, is it D or is it L? Well, let's go to xylose and decide whether it's D or L first, because xylitol was made from xylose. So xylose, are you an L or a D sugar? Well, you have to start with the Fisher drawing, and we have that Fisher structure. Go to the bottom most chirality center. That's this one. This carbon has two hydrogens. It's not a chirality center. This carbon has a hydrogen, an alcohol, this group, and this group. Hey, those are 4 different groups. Yeah, this is a chirality center. Finding the bottommost chirality center, the alcohol group was not on the left. It's not the L form. The alcohol group's on the right. This is the D form. And then somehow xylose was changed. Xylitol was made from xylose. Somehow it's changed over here. So what's the difference? Well, I got CH2OH, alcohol on the right. This alcohol's on the left. That alcohol's on the right. The aldehyde changed to an alcohol. All right, but given that, how do we decide whether this is L or D? Well, This was the Carbohydrate center in xylose that determined it was D, and that was preserved. That Carbohydrate center did not change. So this is also D. Yay, that question was answered. And yes, that's a sample problem. You might be asked to do this on the exam or something like it. I'll give you a structure and say, hey, this other molecule is derived from it, from the sugar. So what is this molecule? Is this L or D? Where do we come up with these names? Why is this xylitol and this is xylose? That's cool. The ose ending indicates a carbohydrate. And the ol ending identifies an alcohol, right? Ethanol. The IUPAC name for this molecule as an alcohol group, most important group is alcohol, suffix is OL. Nice, xylitol is only alcohols. So the other thing we have to do is explain how xylitol is a 0-calorie sweetener. Wait, what are they saying here? Yeah, it's saying if you eat this, well, you do, you chew it and you absorb some of the xylitol, you taste it on your tongue, it goes down your esophagus into your stomach. It's saying it doesn't have any calories. What it's really saying is your body can't derive any energy from it, any caloric energy. You can't break it down, can't metabolize it. You can metabolize xylose, it's a sugar. Glucose, definitely, it's blood sugar. That's where we get energy from in our bodies. But not this. Why not? Explain. Well, what's the change? Difference is the aldehyde changed to an alcohol. So is this a carbohydrate? Well, what's a carbohydrate? Let's go back to our definition. Carbohydrates have to contain an aldehyde or a ketone and 2 or more alcohols. So xylitol doesn't have an aldehyde or a ketone. So it is not a carbohydrate, and our body can't process it and break it down. It just passes through our body, probably in the urine. It looks like it's very water soluble with all these alcohol groups, hydrogen bonding groups. Yeah, that explains why it's a 0-calorie sweetener. The structure, however, is very similar to xylose. And in fact, one of the reactions we study in Unit 2 is hydration. So if in the presence of water and either an acid or base catalyst, the aldehyde or ketone can be hydrated. So let's draw this xylose structure again. So starting on carbon 2, I got the alkyl group on the right, then on the left, then on the right, and CH2OH, and a little bit of water is in natural equilibrium with the acid and the base. So there's enough H plus to catalyze this reaction in saliva. This aldehyde group will form a pair of alcohols. This is probably what's absorbed on the tongue and detected as sweet, all these alcohol groups. And look at xylitol. The only difference between this hydrated form and this one is a missing alcohol group. Super similar in structure. So it tricks the tongue. This sweet molecule xylose and this molecules are so close in structure, the tongue's like, it's a carbohydrate, isn't it? It tastes sweet. This is good. Your body tries to break this down and there's no aldehyde or ketone on it. It can't process it, can't break it down. 0 calories. Very cool. See anything else about this? Oh, why did they start with xylose? Why don't they just start with glucose? Well, they can do that, and then it's called sorbitol. So if you see some sweeteners, I think it's Extra brand of gum is sweetened with sorbitol, and that's derived from glucose. There we go. That's the last thing for this video. How do you change? What reagent changes xylose into xylitol? Well, the question really is, how do you change an aldehyde to an alcohol? And you use one of the reducing agents, maybe the mild one, sodium borohydride, or you can use the lithium aluminum hydride, followed up with acid afterwards. Same thing here. You can reduce glucose to sorbitol, artificial sweetener then. Yep, cool. With lithium aluminum hydride or sodium borohydride. Cool. All righty. I'll see you in the next video.